Or huge winter storm systems, even by Eastern Sierra standards, slammed through the area Saturday through Tuesday, dropping copious amounts of snow, not only in Mammoth Lakes and June Lake proper, but giving Mammoth Mountain and June Mountain several feet of great snow. Mammoth Mountain has reported anywhere from 7 feet at the main lodge to 11 feet at the summit over the last 4-day stretch from Saturday through Tuesday. June Mountain also receiving many feet of snow, again giving both ski areas and snowboard areas great coverage for weeks to come, and there's more snow to come. Now, the town of Mammoth Lakes officials kept public informed on road conditions, the suspension of operations for a couple of days at Mammoth Yosemite Airport, as well as Eastern Sierra Transit System routes. Also opening warming center for those in need earlier this week. Mammoth Town offices were closed Monday and Tuesday, and Mammoth Unified School District had issued rest days also. No school on Monday and Tuesday. Now, last Sunday, February 3rd, Mammoth Town manager Dan Holler signed a proclamation declaring the existence of a local emergency. Proclamation was prepared to support a request to use CAL FIRE crews to assist Mammoth Hospital to remove snow from the roof. Significant snow accumulation on roofs has resulted in threats to the structural integrity of buildings, including the hospital. Meanwhile, Inyo County Emergency Services and the Inyo County Sheriff's Office encouraging residents to use the break in winter storms to prepare, noting that if you live in flood-prone areas in Inyo County, make sure you prepare your property with sandbags. Sand for those filling sandbags stockpiled at several locations in Bishop, as well as in Big Pine, Independence, Lone Pine, and Olancha. And you also notes that if you live in an avalanche-prone area, there is still an advisory in place that was released Monday, February 4th through the Inyo County Sheriff's Office Code Red alerting system, asking residents to consider voluntary evacuating until the avalanche risks are reduced, or be prepared to shelter in place for several days. Now, the advisory was targeted specifically for Rock Creek, Pine Creek, Aspendale, and Haybeggars. Avalanche risk can evolve quickly due to high winds, snowpack, or other related events, that news release notes. Daily avalanche advisories posted at the Eastern Sierra Avalanche Center webpage, and that's esavalanche.org. Inyo County Sheriff's Office said it will notify the public via social media, Facebook, Twitter, and/or Code Red if there is a significant risk or event that has affected or will affect the public. That full release posted on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, Deb Murphy posted this story for Sierra Wave Media, noting the Adventure Trails program allows off-road vehicles not legal on surface streets to use those streets to gain access to community services. It's that simple, but the hours of discussion before the Inyo Board of Supervisors, Deb notes, probably exceeds the number of hours off-road enthusiasts have spent on the 7 designated street services in the Owens Valley over the few years the program has been up and running. And those discussions started up again Tuesday at Inyo County Board of Supervisors meeting. The item on the agenda was approval for a 5-year extension to be tacked on to current federal legislation. After 2 hours of public input, the supervisors approved the extension. Now, the problem is simple. There isn't really enough data available on the relative success of the program to make any valid determination about its future. Brownstown and Boulder Creek both have access to designated access roads and have seen the advantages. The other routes, reduced from an original 38, don't connect public lands to community services. The other problem is off-highway vehicles are legal, and there's no way to determine which off-roaders are using the Venture Trail system. Now, public comment was split between folks who support off-road activity and want the program expanded, and those who consider motorized vehicles in the backcountry and Athena. Now, some of the anti-off-roaders came armed with the assumption the county had invested $500,000 in the project. Inyo County Administrative Officer Clint Quilter ran through some of the costs. The environmental work was paid for from green sticker grants and state funding. Road department equipment that serves a dual purpose was paid for with the same grant source and $159,000 in department funds. The $75,000 in staff time was covered by a combination of green sticker local transportation commission funds. Now, during the public comment period, Dr. Thomas Boo added a new wrinkle to the conversation. He says the county's support of OHV activity is divisive. Let the program sunset. Let OHVs come, but don't promote it. Boo latched on to a simple truth. OHVs will be part of the valley landscape with or without the adventure trails. Julie Fowl expressed her own issues with OHVs. She runs a small farm with rental cabins on Horseshoe Meadows Road west of Lone Pine and has had encounters with OHVs going around closed road gates and basically behaving badly. Her issue was enforcement of existing laws. Inyo Supervisor Matt Kingsley pointed out questionable activity by other recreational pursuits. Rock climbers leave carabiners and boulders, he said. That's illegal, but we still support bouldering. Now, the Inyo supervisors acknowledged that there would be little economic impact with the small sample of adventure trail routes, but weren't ready to expand the program. Board unanimously approved the extension, so the battle over OHVs will continue. We will also note that the Inyo National Forest and Bureau of Land Management Bishop Field Office open house set for Wednesday, February 13th to gather public ideas for requesting off-highway vehicle grant funds. That informal open house at the Forest Service BLM office, Posse Lane in Bishop. We've posted the information on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, Deb Murphy also filed this story. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's none of the above. Despite the bird name, V-22 Osprey, the official definition of the helicopter airplane marriage, is a tilt-rotor military aircraft. 4 of them landed at the Bishop Airport late last week. The Ospreys and a crew of 40 Marines here for the next week or so. Now, the Ospreys and Marines are regular visitors to the Owens Valley, but watching the birds fly never gets old. I believe we're looking at some file footage here from Sierra Wave Media's Bill Schneider. Now, their mission is to provide training support for mountain training at the Core Mountain Training Center at Pico Meadows, northwest of Bridgeport. The center doesn't have the room or facilities to handle the fleet of Ospreys, so the aircraft and crew stay in Bishop. The Marine medium tilt rotor Squadron 161 didn't make it to Pico Meadows on Monday, opting to head east into the Whites instead. And with US 395 closed from Mammoth Lakes to Bridgeport, nobody was getting into the mountains. Few of the details of the training regime were available. You know it's a military thing. Now, the Osprey, Deb Murphy notes, was developed after the failure of Operation Eagle Claw during the Iran hostage crisis of 1980. What the military needed was a long-range, high-speed, vertical takeoff aircraft. Bell Helicopter and Boeing helicopters got the job, and since the Osprey was the first of its kind, took a while until 2000 for crew training and finally fielded in 2007. Aircraft has been in operations over Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and Kuwait. Now, during landing and takeoff, the Osprey operates like a helicopter. Once airborne, the prop rotors rotate 90 degrees in as little as 12 seconds for horizontal flight, with the fuel efficiency and higher speeds of a turboprop aircraft. Osprey stats impressive: maximum speed 316 miles per hour, service ceiling 25,000 feet, maximum range over 1,000 miles, maximum takeoff weight 60,500 pounds. Thank Deb Murphy for that, and we'll be back with more news.